Dear brothers and sisters, we all know every day we search for something. We search for success, happiness, security, or peace. And often we believe that one more achievement or possession will finally satisfy us. Dear brothers and sisters, today's readings invite us to ask a deeper question. What is the greatest treasure that we are truly seeking? In the first reading we heard, after the death of King David, Solomon became the king of Israel. He was so young and inexperienced, and his rise to the throne had not been without political tension. So God invited Solomon with an extraordinary question. Ask what I should give you. Instead of asking for wealth or long life or victory over his enemies, Solomon admitted his limitations. He himself described as only a little child, not because of the age, but because he recognized that hardship was beyond his own abilities. His request was so unique. So he asked for a listening heart and understanding mind. Dear brothers and sisters, very often we people ask God to give us more wisdom, but we don't admit our own limitation. In the Bible, heart is not just merely the seat of emotion. It is the center of thought, decision making, and will. So here Solomon was asking God for the ability to listen deeply to God and to the people so that he could judge with justice, discern good things from evil. A point of reflection from this passage is that wisdom begins not with speaking, but with listening. We are very often tempted to speak a lot instead of listening to people. So here, the wisdom begins not with speaking, but with listening. Before God made Solomon a wise king, he made him a good listener. In a world that often praises power, comfort, and security, Solomon's choice stands out. His prayer reveals a leader who knows his limit and seeks divine guidance to serve others well. Dear brothers and sisters, God is calling us first to cultivate the listening heart. Listening slows down. Listening frees us acting impulsively and often open us to God's quiet guidance. In the Bible, if you read continuously about Solomon, ironically, Solomon later lost this gift because he stopped to listen to God. The passage reminds us that wisdom is not something we possess once for all. It is a daily choice to remain attentive to God's voice. So Solomon asked for listening heart because only heart that listens to God and recognize what is truly valuable. Dear brothers and sisters, a young boy once spent some months saving up some money to buy latest smartphone. When he finally collected so much money, he bought a new one. He was so thrilled, but within a few days, the excitement started fading. And he began to looking forward to the new model. A few weeks later, his college required students to spend one afternoon visiting his old age home. As he was leaving an elderly man, he said, "Thank you for listening. No one has spoken to me this long in weeks." After spending an afternoon simply listening to lonely senior citizen, the young boy returned home with joy that surprised him. He realized that while buying things gave him temporary happiness, giving himself in love brought much deeper and lasting satisfaction. Dear brothers and sisters, this is what Jesus speaks in today's gospel through the three parables: the hidden treasure, the pearl of great price, and the fishing net. The first two, the hidden treasure and the pearl of great price, of course, different context. The merchant, on the other hand, spends his life searching for the valuable pearls. Although the two stories are different, they have the same message. When people discover something of infinite value, they joyfully give up everything else to possess it. Both of them left everything in order to buy the valuable and infinite value things. So this is what the kingdom of God in our life as a treasure. St. Augustine says so clearly, beautifully, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in you." My brothers and sisters, every human being is searching for happiness. We seek it in success, money, recognition, relationship, possession, or pleasure. These things are not exactly bad in themselves, but they can never completely satisfy the deepest longing of human heart. Only God can give us. The joy experienced by the youth after spending time with an elderly person reminds us lasting happiness comes not from possessing more, but from loving more. The kingdom of God is universal. That's why the parable of fishing net adds another important dimension. The net gathers the fish of every kind, reminding us that God's invitation is open to everyone without any distinction. At the end, the good fish are separated from the bad. God's mercy is offered to everyone, my brothers and sisters. God's mercy is offered to everyone, but yet our response matters. One day each of us will be called to announce, to give account to God for how we have lived our lives. How do we recognize the true treasure in our lives? Like Solomon in the first reading, we need a listening heart. Only a heart that listens to God can distinguish what is temporary from what is eternal, what merely attracts us from what truly fulfills us. Very often we people try to speak a lot instead of listening to God's voice. So today's liturgy is inviting you and me, my brothers and sisters. What will you choose? What are we ready to experience in God's life and give that experience to people as a treasure? So let us check our conscience, whether we are able to connect with God every day, whether we are able to reconnect with Him every day and find that true treasure which God is going to give us.